Pendlebury once said, and I quote, "A sustainable agriculture is one which depletes neither the land nor the people."
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Govind Shastri from 4MCOM, Christ Deemed to be University.
And I am Deepthi KS from 2MCOM, Christ Deemed to be University. We will be your moderators for this Samshodhan Speaker Series.
Today with us, we have Mr. George Chempotty, co-founder of Chempotty Estate. Mr. George is the son of Tankachan Chempotty, who introduced cocoa to his 22-acre Chempotty Estate. Mr. George is also co-founder of Chempotty Estate. Along with that, talking about Sir's education, Sir has completed his BBA in Human Resource Management from Bangalore University. Apart from his academics, Sir is also a sport enthusiast and certainly a good football player, as we have researched.
Chempotty Estate is a 22-acre certified organic farm located about 50 kilometers from Mysore in the village of Hura. The estate is known for its wide variety of fruits, vegetables, and cocoa plants. They also produce various products like chocolates, honey, fermented drinks, and fruit juices. The estate follows the principle of spiritual farming, which emphasizes harmony with nature and the use of sustainable practices. Hurako chocolates are bean-to-bar chocolates made from cocoa beans grown on the Chempotty Estate in Mysore, India. Hurako dark chocolates are made with single-origin cocoa beans and are available in vibrant flavors.
Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation. We are glad to have you on board and welcome to the Samshodhan Speaker Series. And now we hand over the session to Mr. George. So you can continue with your presentation that you have prepared for the series.
Yeah, thank you, Govind and Deepthi, and thank you also, Professor Rishikesh, who invited me for the session and for this program. And yeah, so shall I share my screen now? Can we go ahead?
Sure, sir.
Okay. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we can see.
Okay. Okay. So thank you so much for that introduction, Deepthi, and I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Govind, sir.
Govind, yeah. So talking about our brands, so now we have two brands currently, which is Hurako Craft Chocolate, as you rightly mentioned, and the other one is Chempotty Estate, which is our, as I can say, it is our manufacturer producer brand. Now, going into the specifics, I want to talk to you about the origin story because we are all about cacao, all about chocolate and the value addition around it. We bought this farm in 2005. Now, our farm is located in Mysore, about 1 hour from Mysore, quite close to the Kabini. And it was conventionally farmed before we bought it. And over the period of the next 20 years or so, we were able to transform it into a completely organic setup, along with the spiritual farming practices, which I'll be talking further in the coming slides. And 2015 is when we first planted cacao, and that has been it has been a major crop for us now currently, and it's doing quite well. And I'd like to talk more about it. And in terms of cacao, we have become a pioneer in cultivation and the production in the Mysore and the Karnataka region. In terms of how the brand came about, so initially how it worked is, so we were always passionate about the farm produce. We are farmers basically, so we always used to make some produce for our friends or family. But as we started realizing, people told us that we should really sell this and get it to market. So that is when it came about. We started with a few jams, pickles, some organic produce from the market, from the farm. And initially we started in 3 locations in Bangalore, in small farmers markets. That's how we started. Thereafter, so there is a grocery aggregator called Farmazon. So we started off with Farmazon for online delivery. And apart from that, we expanded to other online platforms. And very recently, we also started work on our own website. We already have a website and we're improving on it. And we are also shipping pan India. And last year in June, we were incubated by the NSR cell of IIM Bangalore. And very recently, we opened our first store in Nexus. And with regards to the Urban Drive-Through initiative, again, I'll be talking more about it. So this is just a brief of our entire timeline, from the initiation 2020 to where we are right now. So, what is spiritual farming? A lot of people ask us what spiritual farming is. So, it's got nothing to do with religion as such. Spiritual farming is the basis of natural farming. I don't know if you have heard of Sri Subhash Palekar. He was an award-winning farmer. He won the Padma Shri, and Sri Subhash Palekar introduced the spiritual farming concept. Now, the reason why it's called zero budget or spiritual farming or natural farming is because the budget involved is very minimal to the farmer, and the output is its maximum in terms of what input is given. It does not involve any chemicals. It does not involve any artificial agents that are added. And ZBNF is adding to farmers' income all over. Now, I'll be talking more about that. In terms of how it works, is there are four main concepts that are the pillars of zero budget natural farming: Bijamrit, Jivamrit, Achadana, which is also mulching, and Vapasa. Now, Bijamrit is the treatment of the seeds before sowing. Now, before we sow or plant a seed, we have to treat it to ensure that it doesn't, catch any sort of disease or pest. Normally, it does, but this is it's like a prevention. Jivamrit is periodical application of certain kind of fertilizer, natural fertilizer that's made with cow dung, it's made with jaggery, it's made with certain kind of flowers, certain kind of seeds, and some metals are added to add to its metallic content. And then thereafter we have mulching. Mulching involves adding more aeration to the soil, tilling the soil a little bit, adding more aeration to the soil, covering up the weeds, and then finally we have soil aeration. So these are the four main pillars around which spiritual farming is built. Talking about how it's doing in India. Now, even the Indian government, current government, is taking a lot of steps to expand the outlook of spiritual farming. Right? Once during the Green Revolution, there were a lot of chemical inputs that we had in India. So, in fact, we know now as Punjab as almost the cancer capital of India. That's all due to the one of the consequences of Green Revolution. That is, excuse me. Too much input of chemicals and too much input of artificial chemical fertilizers, which has caused this issue. Now, Karnataka, in terms of, you can see the stats here, now Karnataka has taken up spiritual farming quite well. And Himachal also, in terms of the area, you can see the stats here, about almost 1,000 hectares of the area is coming under spiritual farming, natural farming. And then we have Andhra Pradesh, Kerala. So many of the southern states are adopting this quite well. Now, talking about our vision. Now, we are all about cacao or cocoa. So, cacao, we want to be the market leader in the fruit-based products in India. Everyone talks about chocolate. Everyone knows what dark chocolate is, and that's become like a full stop. What's beyond that is what we are exploring and what we are currently developing. Our mission is now to increase the amount of cocoa cultivated, because you see there's a huge demand supply gap in terms of world supply. India currently supplies about 20,000 tons of cocoa. And if you compare that to the highest producer in the world, which is Ivory Coast supplies almost, I would say, close to 2 million tons. So there's a huge gap in terms of the demand supply, and the global demand is much higher than that. So that is where we want to tap in and increase the cultivation of cocoa in India, establish a supply chain, increase the manufacturing and diversification, and establish the outrage. Because many people don't know anything more than chocolate about cocoa. Many people even don't know that chocolate comes from cocoa. So our mission is based around this. So this is our team. So as you know, we are a family-run farm. We are a family-run business. And you can see there, that's my father, Mr. Tangachan, my mother, Miss Jessie, and myself. So this is our 3-member team, small team. We've just with the 3 of us, we have been expanding the business constantly. And over the past 4 years, we've been doing pretty well and progressing constantly. Now, talking about our main product, which is the cacao juice. This is basically the foundation of everything. The cacao juice is basically the pulp. It's the pulp of the cocoa fruit, and this pulp is extracted during the fermentation process, which is the first step in chocolate making. So before fermentation, when we cut the fruit and harvest it, a lot of pulp juice drips out. We collect that, and the reason why cacao is so sustainable if it is used in the right way is that every part of the cacao tree, a cacao fruit, just like our coconut, right? Coconut almost it's such a diverse crop, such a diverse tree that every part is used. Similarly, we want to ensure that every part of the cacao is used. So if you look back at the big players, the big companies like Cadbury or Mondelez, we only knew about the chocolate making part of their industries. That was what the business model was aimed at. The cacao husk, the cacao nibs, um, cacao juice, all these things, these were discarded or this was considered waste. So that is what we are trying to bring back to the current market. At Chempotty Estate, what we do is we are able to add value at every stage of harvesting, fermentation, drying, etc. And going forward, I'll be showing you the different kind of products that we make and maintaining that sustainability model of our circular farm economy. So the cocoa juice is collected from the pods and it doesn't have any added flavor or preservatives. So the flavor notes that you get from this, it's very unique. It's something that many people have not even tried and tasted. So when we sell them at farmers markets, people are quite surprised. It tastes like lychee, it tastes like peach, and some say it tastes like mango or mangosteen also. It's a very unique juice, and slowly it's picking up. It's the rage right now. So this is something that we are really riding on. Now, talking about the benefits, cacao juice is very rich in electrolytes. It's very rich in magnesium, calcium, potassium. So all these are really good for the skin. If you look at the Latin name Theobroma cacao, it means food of the gods. Theobroma itself means food of the gods. So when the Mayans, about 3,000 years ago, when they discovered the cacao and cultivated it, they used to almost consider it the food of the gods because of its certain health properties, right? And that is what has made cacao such a popular product. So these are just some of the products. We have almost 25 to 30 SKUs, but this is core of our business, core of our Hurako and Chempotty Estate. So you can see here the cacao juice. Apart from that, from the juice, we make also fermented drinks. We make cacao vinegar, and we also do a cacao laddu. Now this is involving millets as well. We use ragi in this. This is also adding to PM Modi's goal of the year of the millets, which was last year. So with that goal in mind, also we have developed this product. Apart from that, we have the cacao tea. Cacao tea, again, it's a very high in antioxidant and low in caffeine kind of tea, and it tastes just like hot chocolate. And Hurako craft chocolate. Now this, with chocolates, we're coming out with the various with a lot of variants. So that is one of our products, cocoa beans and cocoa nibs and honey. So these are some of our core products that I wanted to show you. Now, if I ask you, Govind and Deepthi, have you ever heard of any of these products before, like the juice or the vinegar?
No, sir.
No, right?
I've
So
certainly heard of juices few other times, like organic juices, but not especially this cacao made juices and all.
right. So that's what like. So we are doing something very unique, and so that is why we are really conducting this outreach, doing all this marketing, so that people know that cacao is more than just chocolate. Coming to our distribution channels, any company or any business is surviving on its distribution. If you have no distribution, you're as good as dead, is what I believe. So, in terms of the distribution, coming to the B2B side, we are in quite a few cafes and restaurants. So, initially, we were supplying a juice to a certain company called Subco Cacao. It's a Mumbai-based artisan coffee company. And in terms of chocolate makers, we're also supplying to Naviluna, which is a Mysore-based artisan chocolate brand. There is also a brand called La Folie in Mumbai. So we have various customers in terms of the B2B side. and they buy beans from us, and they're into bean to bar chocolate. So they make their own chocolate and sell it in their urban markets. And coming to online platforms, so we are currently on Amazon. We are also have our own website, and soon we'll be on JioMart as well. So increasing our distribution as much as possible is the key. And the retail outlet, I'll also be talking about that in the coming slides. We have come up with our first kiosk in Bangalore, and farmers markets have been our, I would say, lifeline basically. This is how we expanded our business. And through farmers markets, we have a base of almost 10,000 customers and counting. So this is how we have been able to, over the last 3 4 years, without any physical store or even an online platform, we've been able to survive and grow. This is just some of the markets we have attended. So there are some in Sarjapur that we do, some in Yashwantpur, mostly based around Bangalore. And the response has been really great. And the picture on the extreme down right is one of a craft chocolate festival. So there is a now a certain movement now in terms of craft chocolate in India. And what this has helped is it has brought a lot of craft chocolate makers together. So this festival is what we attended last year and this year as well. I'm sorry, the previous year and the year before that. So this has really helped the craft chocolate movement, in terms of reach. And finally, talking about urban drive-through. Now, of course, urban means the city area, and drive-through in Kannada means farmers. So the reason why we came up with urban drive-through is it's a partnership between us, Hurako, and another brand called Bakahu. Bakahu is Balikai Hudi, which is banana flour. So we have partnered together to come together for a collaboration. Nexus Mall Groups, which own about 4 malls in Karnataka and another almost 18 malls in India, right? The Nexus Mall Group is a huge group. They're owned by the Blackstone company. And these malls, they approached us as farmers for doing terrace gardening on their entire terraces to reduce the amount of heat that the building absorbs, and at the same time to build a sort of different ecosystem. When you think of a mall, what do you think? Like it's a lot of stores, it's a lot of commercial, it's very materialistic. So Nexus came forward to change that, and we have partnered with them for that. Firstly, for a terrace gardening initiative. Secondly, for a monthly farmers market. So we've already started this initiative. 17th is our inauguration, and we'll be starting that soon. And a kiosk sales space, which I had, I think, showed you a few days back. So that kiosk is also up and running. Talking about the awards we've got, so we have been recognized by the Karnataka government, and from the taluk level, from the district level as well. We've received some awards, and for being the best farmer in integrated farming services. And this is some of the media mentions. Just wanted to show you. Yeah, so that would be the end of my presentation. And so this was our entire concept, starting from Chempotty Estate to Hurako to Urban Drive-Through, how we started with one brand, now grown to 3 brands and, 3 different companies, and how things have changed. So now I think I'm open to questions, Deepthi and Govind. Please go ahead.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Your presentation certainly gave so much of idea about what is your business all about. So, sir, continuing. So when you told, we could find out that Chempotty Estate, the products of Chempotty Estate, they're performing very well in the market. But what is that one thing that inspired you to, along with Chempotty Estate, what is that one thing which inspired you to build a brand like Hurako Craft Chocolates?
Hurako Craft Chocolate is actually came about last year. So we have been growing cacao since 2015, and we have been farming since 2005, almost 20 years. But craft chocolate as an industry now in the world has been really picking up since 2011. And in India, I would say it's relatively new, like craft beer or artisanal coffee. Craft chocolate was picking up since 2015. So when we started growing cacao, there was no such, I would say, vision. But once we started cultivating, we started getting a lot of input from chefs, chocolatiers, chocolate makers. We thought, why not make our own chocolate? We are farmers. Why can't we be chocolate makers as well, right? So that value addition in mind is how we started Huraku Craft Chocolate.
So it looks like an interesting story. How unique, in a unique manner, you started this. My next question would be like, as we have mentioned earlier as well, that Chempotty Estate took around 20 years to get converted from farmland to an organic farming. So can you share some of the setback of failure or any such kind of difficulties you faced in your entrepreneurial journey? Because it was a long period of 20 years, which took to convert it into an or from farmland to organic farming.
So for this, I would definitely give huge credits to my father, Mr. Tangachan. So when he bought the land first, we were growing coconut, arecanut, the normal cash crop that most Karnataka farmers grow. In terms of setbacks, see, I think as an entrepreneur, every day you face certain setbacks, and every day you face certain challenges. Coming to the farming side of it, farming, I would say it's one of the most challenging professions, if you can call it that. Farming, being a farmer, is the most challenging and most difficult thing. In terms of setbacks, I would say there are droughts you have to deal with. Back in 2016, we faced our first drought, and we were literally going from tree to tree. We were taking jugs of water and pouring water on every tree. So you can imagine 22 acres of land. There's no water coming anywhere. All the canals are dry. There's no rain, and going from tree to tree and pouring. So this is the kind of dedication it requires to run the land. And other than that, I mean, so many setbacks. I can go on and on. There are labor issues. Like in our villages, there are all these jatres, a lot of festivals that keep happening. So we are at the mercy of workers, and when workers don't show up, then we have to get into the entire side of it. Right? We'll be sitting and harvesting. We'll be sitting and cutting the fruits. We'll be doing everything basically. And as an entrepreneur, you cannot say that I'll be sitting in my chair and working on my computer. It involves being on the field, also being on the system, being in a store. It involves every single thing. So you have to be ready for each and everything basically. And that's how we've come up, and that's helped us to also grow in terms of a brand, in terms of our farm. Yeah.
So yeah, sir. So thank you for telling about your challenges, because as you told, being a farmer is not something very easy. It is a very difficult profession. So coming to the next thing. So you talked about urban right-through, where you told it is a green initiative by Bakau and Huraku. So can you tell more about the initiative or the collaboration, what has happened between Bakau and Huraku?
Yeah, so Bakahu is owned by another farmer, Mr. Naveen, from Hunsur, again Mysore area. And Mr. Naveen is into banana farming. So what he has done is he has taken certain technology from CFTRI, Central Food Technological Research Institute, Mysore, and he has come up with a technology that now converts dry banana into flour powder form. The reason why this is beneficial is because it reduces the glycemic index, especially for diabetics. Banana powder is really good. So he has come up with a lot of products, and of course, our Chempotty Estate brand. We had established ourselves over the past 4 years. So we both came together for urban ride-through. We were approached by Nexus in August of last year for this initiative. So we thought, let's come in together, and we are managing an entire terrace space currently of about 20,000 square feet. Now, the way this helps Nexus is that they reduce the amount of heat generated, because malls, to run the amount of AC that they require, right? For that amount of space, the amount of AC, the amount of water, all of that can be managed more sustainably when the heat that your building absorbs is reduced. So this is one concept, the terrace farming. The second concept is the kiosks. Now, in return for terrace farming, they gave us a kiosk space in the mall, and that helps us to, of course, reach more people, sell our products, and that's how urban drive-through came about. Changing our concrete jungles to greener spaces. As you already know, you see Bangalore every single day. There's a new apartment or there's a new road being built. Metros coming up everywhere. So there is hardly any green space left. The lungs of the city are getting destroyed. So urban drive-through is that initiative that is bringing greener spaces to this concrete jungle that we live in.
We get it, sir. Like in the modern days, when we people just talk about conserving environment, we can clearly see how the practices you have adopted, which are helping in practical life to overcome the challenges which environment is facing currently. And as you talked about sustainability, my next question would also be regarding sustainability only.
Right.
That you mentioned you have been using some of the innovative solutions, right? So in future, are you looking for any further innovative solution that can take you to a next level of sustainability performance?
Yeah, in fact, in terms of sustainability, I would say I think we're pretty much sorted. But there are some points that came to mind. For example, um, as customers, we get a lot of demands since we attend so many farmers markets. Every time a customer will ask us about something or the other, or tell us, you can change the packaging, you can change the branding this way. So we take those inputs very seriously. And of course, one of those is plastic. Plastic is a big issue now. And as an entrepreneur, it's very challenging to find alternatives to plastic in terms of scale. When you scale a certain product and then you have to manufacture in non-plastic, let's say baggage materials or banana fiber, it's very expensive. And customers don't realize that sometimes. So I think my first challenge in terms of sustainability would be to convert I think almost 50% of our packaging is sustainable and plastic free, but I aim to make it 100%, and I think that would be one of the pointers here. The other thing in terms of our workers, and we always aim to have, we always aim to give the best wages. There are currently certain minimum wage that the state government requires. We try to give above that. We always maintain that we treat our workers like family. So that is another form of our sustainability. Apart from that, we are promoting not just craft chocolate, we are also promoting, say, farmers of jaggery, because we use jaggery in our chocolate. We are promoting, say, sustainable packaging because we're using that in our product. So all companies or all businesses revolving around our products are sustainable and are being, it's like a circular economy, right? So even if you see your college, right, you have your college canteens. The college canteen supports so many small businesses, right? There's so many different kinds of cuisines that they are served. So all the similar model is applied here, right? We are supporting so many businesses, and at the same time, we are being supported by those businesses. And finally, I would say our main mission in terms of sustainability is to move from mass-made commercial industrial chocolate to craft chocolate. Craft chocolate, reason being more specifically is because we want chocolate to finally get its true say. Because see, normally people say chocolate is good for the teeth or hair or skin, but the chocolate that we get in the market is complete opposite of that, right? Children are losing their teeth, or it's becoming bad for our health. The reason why is because it's either pumped with sugar, milk powder, a lot of additives, a lot of emulsifiers, color. So we want to change that. So these are all part of those initiatives.
Sure.
Yes, sir. So it was nice to hear about few new things which you have heard. So, sir, there's this term which is evolving nowadays in the market, agri-tourism. So, what is your views or what is your thoughts about the agri-tourism?
Yeah. So I wanted to talk to you about our business models basically. So one is based around the products that you saw. The second is about a service vertical, that is supplying cocoa beans to chocolate makers and other people in the culinary industry. And the third is agri-tourism. In terms of agri-tourism, the reason why it's so critical to our industry is because we are building a story around a product. It's not just a product packed in a packet and then shipped off to the city and sold. There's a story behind it. There's work behind it. There is a whole lot of effort behind it. So agri-tourism comes into play when we conduct things like cocoa harvest festivals. Now, this is something very unique, and to my knowledge, no one else is doing this. At least in India, no one else is doing this. What we do is we bring people from the cities. Like it's like an event, a one-day event, and people come to a farm. It's a farm visit. We talk to them about the cultivation. We show them the harvesting, the processing, how chocolate is made, so that when they go back, they can tell their friends, yeah, the chocolate doesn't come from a factory. The chocolate comes from a tree. And that is a huge, I would say that is a huge benefit for us. And it's a huge achievement for us when we educate people like that. That's one thing. Apart from that, we are starting a cacao center for learning and experience, and in collaboration with the Lavon Academy. Bangalore. So this would be a chocolate making course plus learning about cocoa cultivation. That's another part of our tourism efforts. And apart from that, of course, we have farm stays, where we invite people to come and stay on the farm and then see how our processing takes place. So, of course, any of your friends or any of people, families around you are most welcome to the farm to, experience what we do and how we do it. So this is all part of our initiative.
Yes, sir, for sure. I mean, the things already looks interesting, and it would be really good to visit such a place and know about the processes and how actually it is happening. So, sir, next thing that I would like to ask is, as we can consider that you are into the initial stage of becoming a big brand, as we can see that you would be becoming definitely a big brand. So, in upcoming future, how do you see your competition, other commercial chocolate brands, and so what are your plans for going international? How do you see yourself placing yourself in the global market?
Right. So what I say to you now might be different from what I say to you, say 5 years later. But the situation that I see right now is in terms of the craft chocolate industry. We are not taking on the big players. We are making our own industry. It's a niche industry. And just like the craft beer or the artisanal coffee industry, the craft chocolate is a new industry.
Got it.
In terms of the international market, see, Europe and the US has had a monopoly in production. Even though Belgium doesn't grow cacao, Belgium chocolate is so famous. The Swiss don't grow cacao. Swiss chocolate is so famous. The reason is their marketing and I would say a certain monopoly in the supply. Right? If you look at the highest importer of cacao today, it's Netherlands. So the EU is one of the highest importers of cacao and the producers as well. So as craft chocolate makers in India, it's our aim and our goal to change that. Indian craft chocolate is now has to take center stage, and we want to be part of that story. So we don't just want to help improve the supply of global cacao, but at the same time, we want to improve the supply of Indian cacao, Indian craft chocolate brands, and that's why you see on our packaging as well, we mention it's a Mysore single origin. We want to bring Mysore or Karnataka or wherever the region it's coming from to make that. So now, next time you talk to your friends about chocolate, you'll say, "I ate a Mysore single origin chocolate," or "I ate a say Andhra origin chocolate." So that's how we have to go past these Belgium chocolates or Swiss chocolates or any of those kind of already built market standards. And in terms of the global market, craft chocolate is it's currently almost a 20, I would say almost a $15 billion industry, and it's only going to grow. It's growing rapidly. The US and Europe are way ahead of us, I would agree. But in terms of the storytelling, and the art, we are definitely coming up. So I'm quite hopeful of the craft chocolate industry in India as well.
Next question would be, do you have any specific goals or targets with regarding the future of the company? Like the general targets you told us that you're looking forward to expand yourself in that manner, but any specific thing that you have thought of from a long time or a vision that you have that in India we are targeting this thing?
Right. Yeah, we have very specific targets actually. We are very focused on, first of all, cacao education. We want that at least by the end of this year, we are able to reach uh, 30 to 40,000 people through our websites, through our retail, through our online, right? In the malls itself, we get walk-ins of close to 10 to 20,000 per day. That itself is something. And we are slowly gaining acceptance there, right? In mall crowd, it's a very hard crowd to get into. So that's where we're working, and that's one of our goals. Apart from that, the urban drive-through goal, we are going to be in. This is our aim going forward to be in every mall in India, and to be able to have this initiative in every mall. And Nexus is working with us closely, and I'm sure that we'll be able to do that as well. The third goal, main goal, would be around education, craft chocolate education. We aim to by the by two in another 2 or 3 years, we aim to be the the top name in India for craft chocolate education and craft chocolate products. And so these are the main goals that we're looking at currently, and we're definitely already taken steps, and steps are being taken, and we're already working towards these goals. The foundation is being laid already, and we're hopefully, yeah, definitely in the next year or two, it's going to bear fruit for sure.
We are also certain that the goals you have set and the way you are going forward, definitely you will be achieving your goals. Deepti.
So, sir, as a concluding question, I would like to ask you, what are your few suggestions for the young people who are willing to start their business in this industry?
I think find things around you, small solutions around you. A lot of all startup founders, they first found a solution to a problem, and I would say that's the foremost thing. For example, we have the when you go back home after you finish college, you have this. If you take public commute, right? I used to take public commute, and it used to take me, let's say, 2 to 3 hours to reach back home. So find a solution to that. Find a solution to small problems around your area. I think entrepreneurship is basically problem solving. That's one thing. The second thing that I learned from my journey is be ready to take 100 no's or 1,000 no's. You'll hear no every day. Just another example I'll give you. So we were when we first started out, people are apprehensive. Like we're a new brand, and we're making food products, even though we're licensed and everything. So people are always apprehensive. So they always say no. I'll try it later. So your resilience and your commitment to your product or your idea is very important. We hear no's every day, even now in the mall, right? Initially, we hear a lot of no's. Even if we give out free samples, we hear a lot of no's. People just walk away. But that's all right, because you see, as long as you're committed to the cause, like we are committed to the craft chocolate cause, we are committed to the urban drive-through cause. As long as you're committed, you're definitely going to find a way forward, and choose strategic people, strategic partners to help you along the way. That's another thing I've learned, is that if you are not a good judge of people and of intentions, you might get lost along the way. So choose strategic partners, and try to plan ahead. There's a very common saying, like, for today's plan right now. For tomorrow's plan today. So planning is essential. Planning is everything. So these are, I think, four important things I've learned, and I think people can apply if they're thinking of being an entrepreneur or starting their own business.
Certainly, sir, this would help a lot of entrepreneurs. Listening from you, coming from you, who's himself a young entrepreneur, and it will help them in taking up the things and going in the right direction, sir. So it was nice speaking with you, and we learned a lot of things. And definitely, one most important thing would be that cocoa is not just for chocolate, and you have shown the people that it can go beyond that, and you are actually doing going in very right direction. And definitely the quality and the organic way you are doing farming, it's not just sustainable but definitely help our country to grow as well.
Yeah, and I would like to invite the entire MCOM department, and whoever is interested to know about this process, about more about cacao. I would invite you all to the farm, or to our even to our store in Nexus Shantiniketan, to learn more about this if you are really interested.
Yeah, definitely, sir. We will give it a mention to our coordinators and HOD, sir. Apart from it, sir, we would also congratulate on getting so many recognitions. And apart from that, sir, whatever awards you have received. So, sir, as a concluding statement, I would like to say that as this interview is coming to end, so on behalf of the Christ University, we would like to once again thank you, sir, for joining us today for the Samshodhan Speaker Series and sharing your insights with us. It was indeed a pleasure to have you with us for the session, sir. Thank you so much, and we are very happy to have you on board, sir, with us today.
Yes.
Likewise, thank you so much, Govind, Deepti, and thank you, Professor Rishikesh, as well, for organizing. And yeah, thank you.
Definitely, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.